Okay, hello everyone. If someone is asking me if everything is okay, no. My father is in great pain and what is this that evangelicals write at the billboards or something like this? The end is nigh. It feels a bit like this. Oh my god. I need to focus on doing something, but it's hard. Okay, I will share with you something humiliating. Do you know what this is? I don't know the English word, but half of it would be diaper. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that I have to use this or something, but there are times that sadly, even at my age, it's better to have something like this at hand. Oh Jesus, I need to produce the video because the MinP video will become a meme again, even though it never became a meme in the first place because not enough people watched the video, but it sort of became like a meta joke. I don't know how to call things that aren't popular, that are like popular but aren't. I do want to. Oh yeah, what happened in the world of AI? Grok 4.5 dropped. Oh my god. Races reaches new level. Yeah, okay, as a quick addendum to the yesterday's video, if you are into local AI, there are two other options. First of all, you can do full fine-tune when QLoRa and LoRa are impossible. There is something called RunPod, and there are other services like this where you can buy GPUs for hours. So if you have prepared data set and you want just to, run like 4 versions of the same model to check with various learning rates and various methods to check which one will be the best, you can do it for, let's say, less than $100. You can fine-tune a model of the size that would be useful, like 20 to 40 billion parameters. If you have that data set prepared, and that's honestly the biggest problem, but businesses usually have the data. So that might be the easier part of the problem for, places like this. And what's the second? The second one, that's a bigger stuff, but if you don't need a big, huge large model, but you are willing to go with something like 2 or 4 billion parameters, you can make your own. And yes, I am not joking. Yes, the cost will be not low, but it will be yours. You will have 100% full control over it. And doing this is actually one of the few things that's relatively accessible, at least as long as you stay below like 6 billion parameters. And at 4 billion parameters you can have a very good chatbot that, for example, does, various customer support or something. Okay. So yes, doing your own model. I will forget the name of the company. There is American company, Allen AI, something like that. I think it was started by one of the Microsoft former VPs or something like that, some crazy story like that. But it is absolutely open source, not just open weights, open source AI, meaning they not only tell you how they did it and release models, they make it possible for you to recreate their model. So they give you data set, they give you data that they used. They, for example, licensed data they paid for, which is why I call them ethically made AI. And they are approximately getting results from about a year ago of state of the art. Depends on what segment of the market you're talking about. Given that coding is currently taking off, no, it's not going to be as big of a deal, but yeah. What's next? There is Mistral. Mistral is good in research when it comes to models. It's sadly still a year back. It's a European, French model. They release good models for fine-tuning. Especially their a bit older models. They were they didn't have, because they are not US made, the company isn't responsible for everything chatbot does. So if chatbot uses word sex and it appears on the screen of someone who's one day younger than 18, then they cannot be prosecuted or something. The American and Chinese models, because they are often serving American, markets, they have insane safeties and censorship because of legal liabilities. Mistral, generally speaking, is pretty chill. You can run a role play on a base or at least an instruction following model of Mistral locally. and you shouldn't have a problem unless you are into like kinks that are not socially acceptable, like very not socially acceptable. So, you know, on the old UGI, I think at this point it's like 2 or 3 times old, because grading changed. But the first version of UGI, I think Mistral Original scored 7 out of 10 uncensored, which, given that normal models permissive were like 3 out of 10, yeah, that was very permissive. So it's a good base, but they have very good specialist models. First of all, not generalists, but specialists. And they have the word I hate, and probably a lot of people hate, modularity. So, for example, they have a great text model. I mean, not text model. Voice-to-text model. So normally you use Whisper or something, some form of even like slightly different Whisper to transcribe stuff. So you basically feed the audio file to the Whisper, and it gives you a transcription. But Mistral is the one that produces zero latency transcription. It's not really zero latency. I think they manage to go with latency below quarter of second though. So below quarter of second when you start speaking and when you have it transcribed and possibly translated as well. And normally for Whisper this is done in 30-second batches, so you have to talk for 30 seconds, wait, then you will get transcription and translation, then talk again for 30 seconds, and you know, but here and I think the worst latency possible on that model is up to 3 seconds, but I think it's rare to achieve that because it samples in windows of 80 milliseconds, and I think it always misses first 3 because it needs you know, to make sure that the sound is actually done and that you weren't just, I don't know, coughing or something like that. By the way, you know what? I shouldn't talk about it. Just go watch Julia Turk's video on it. Now I will link it, goddammit, or something. Take care. Bye bye. Like, share, and subscribe.